Good morning. This is a pen and ink drawing by Aleister Crowley. I'm not sure what year, but there's his little signature at the bottom. And there he is being a good yogi and sitting there in sort of two bulbous uh, landscapes there, uh, out of which penetrating into the sky is is a mountain and sort of a stylized I Ching solar thing. Anyway, it adorns the frontispiece, I guess you'd say, for a Thelema Publications of Liber 21. Now, why it's called 21, I'm sure 50 people listening to this can tell me why it was chosen to be 51, because actually it has 27 verses in it, in its two little chapters. But it is the Khing King, okay? I told you about it yesterday, and I just didn't have time to get into it then. I've shared it with you, maybe several years ago, because it's so short and it's so sublime and it's so absolutely under recognized and underappreciated. Crowley wrote what he called a translation, but it's really more of a poetic retelling of two classic Taoist documents, the Tao Te Ching, uh, which he did. I showed you a copy of it yesterday, and this one, Liber 21, the Khing King, which is the classic of purity, written down by Ko Yun. Okay. In the episode of the Dynasty of Wu, and now made into a rhyme by Aleister Crowley. And at the time this was published, okay, it was a pretty damn rare thing, and it's Class B, so it's not something you can't comment on. And it's published by the OTO, which at that time was, let's see if I can find the sort of classic sticker on that. Anyway, the OTO was running out of a post office box in Dublin, California. That's where I answered. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to read it to you. Okay, it's very short. You could power your way through it. Just sitting in the parking lot waiting for someone to shop. Okay, it's very short, and as you sort of skim through it, because it's written in poetical verse. Okay, and like all poetical verse, it has a format and a structure, but that format and structure is not necessarily the meter in which you read it or try to understand it. Okay, so like all poetry, you have to be very cognizant of periods and commas and other punctuation marks that give you a clue that they're just not trying to plug words into a structure, but they're actually trying to convey ideas in lyrical form. Now, I sort of advertised this morning's talk as 27 fortune cookie uh, messages from heaven. Okay, I could have said 27 fortune cookie messages on steroids, or I could have said 27 profound miniature comments on the Tao Te Ching and the Tao and of Eastern mysticism. And for me, the value in something like this is enhanced immeasurably by a basic understanding of Kabbalistic principles. When dealing with things like the Tao, especially things like Ein Sof, and Ein Sof were the three veils of the negative before everything condenses into a singularity that breaks or is expressed in three parts, and then those three parts give birth to a manifested universe. All of those just sort of Kabbalah 1A makes certain of these fortune cookie messages profound. So I'm going to just read through it today. It's going to be well into the 100 degrees right now. It's very, very warm in the house, and so it might be a little short today, especially if I pass out and die. Okay. Khing Kang, the classic of purity, first written down by me, Ko Yuing, in the episode of the Dynasty of Wu, and now made into rhyme by me, Aleister Crowley. There's 2 books. The first one has 12. Book 1, or chapter 1. Lao Kun, the master, said, Tao is devoid of form, yet heaven and earth are brought to birth and nurtured by its norm. All of these you can't just read over once and think you got it. You could take 27 days, okay, and just take one of these a day and think on these things. So I'm going to say that one again. Lao Kun, the master, said, Tao is, devoid of form, yet heaven and earth are brought to birth and nurtured by its norm. Tao hath no will to work, yet by its way of heaven the moon and the sun rejoice to run among the starry 7. Tao has no name. Its word is growth and sustenance to all. I aim to give it a name, Tao. Heaven prosper chance. Tao hath twin phase with Te. Okay, Tao is spelled T-A-O, and Day is spelled T-E-H. It looks like Tao and Te. Tao hath twin phase with Te, the silent and the stressed of See, I'm doing it already. I'm screwing up with the periods. Tao hath twin phase with Day, the silent and the stressed. Of motion of these repose, sublimely manifest. Did I do that well enough so you could get it? Tao hath twin phase with Day, the silent and the stressed. Of motion of these repose, sublimely manifest. Heaven moves, pure silence he. Earth rests beneath the strain. Shuttle and loom, as word and womb their mystery sustain. Pure motion maketh rest, as silence maketh stress. If man were still, then heaven should thrill with earth to nothingness. Self loveth silence, yea. But mind distracteth it. Mind loveth rest, but passion's pest allures the trembling wit. If a man restrain desire, his mind will cease to roll, and mind's release allow pure peace of silence to the soul. He was on a roll. He was really on a roll with it. The senses will not soil, the thought will not upstress, nor poisons, greed, wrath, dullness, breathe their triform deadliness. Men earn not ease of Tao for their desires disease, because their mind is not refined of thought by killing these. If one should slay desires, his mind and body seem no longer his, but fantasies danced in a wanton's dream. Slay mind, slay body, slay the eternal. Matter goes, then space remains. Renew thy pains, up front the final foes. I'm going to digress for a second, because when people sort of skim over portions of the Book of the Law, especially that chapter 3, kill and torture, ye shall delight in slaying. Okay, what slaying are we talking about there? Slay mind, slay body, slay the external. Matter goes, then space remains. Renew thy pains, up front the final foe. Okay. Those are the 12 little verses of part 1. Here's part 2. Lao Kun, the master, said, the adept in skill of soul hath never an aim. Not a name, an aim. Lao Kun, the master said, the adept in skill of soul hath never an aim. The bungler's shame is that he gropes a goal. Who most possess the day, that's T-E-A-T-E-H, conceal their magic power. Who least possess, exert their stress 7 times in every hour. These who cling fast to powers, who guard them and display their magic art, they are not part of Tao, nor yet of day. Men win not truth of Tao because their minds are wryed. The mind uncurbed, the self perturbed, and loses tune of tide. Lost, the external lures. They turn to seek it. Then all things perplex, confuse, and vex those miserable men. Disordered thoughts arise. Body and mind grow sick. Disgrace and fear grow year by year to their climacteric. Wild, they are tossed about through life and death, They quiver sunk in sea stress of bitterness and lose the Tao forever. The true, the abiding Tao, who hath understandeth, the true, the abiding Tao, who understandeth hath. Who hath the Tao is here and now in silence of the path. Slay space, then naught abides. Hold not thine holy hand. When naught gives back before the attack, serene thy silence stand. Does this remind you of what Krishna is telling Arjuna about yeah, don't hold back. Yeah, it's a war. Yeah, you know. What he's really talking about is what assails the soul. All's rest, devoid of mark. How should desires fix tooth? When they are past, thou surely hast the silence of the truth. Flawless, that truth and fixed, yet apt to each appeal nature and sense to influence. The magnet to the steel. Oh, this true touch with all elastic and exact, that yet abides above their tides, the silence free from act. He that hath this shall come little by little. A breath so floweth he now to truth of Tao, wherein he vanisheth. Men style him Lord of Tao, yet he hath none to lord. Hid motive, he of all that be, enough for his reward. And the final little statement, he that can comprehend this doctrine may transmit it. He that can comprehend this doctrine may transmit this sacred Tao to men that vow themselves to fathom it. He that can comprehend this doctrine may transmit this sacred Tao to men that vow themselves to fathom it. It is such a sweet little book by Crowley on a very good day. It was one of the early magazines that Haru Raha Lodge, the Lodge Journal, that we published every season for a long time. Thanks to the goading and the work and the encouragement of our dear friend John Sandifer. Otherwise, we would have never got it off the ground. Anyway, we did the whole Khing Kang as an issue, and so. I tried to dig one out of the box this morning to show you, but that's it. I'm going to shut off these lights, and this afternoon, my time, 2:00, I will be on the X Factor syndicated radio show. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. I told them to ask me anything, and I'll just babble on. I am equally ignorant about everything, so. But I talk. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Lavender Well.